See if Donald shows up with his new hitch on that for that boat. Very loud. And the blowing leaves all around. Get them out of my way. Thanks to you, I'm much obliged. I think they gotta stay. Hey, like Metallica, everything's like, hey, get out of my way. Chuck's got a Megadeth thing in there he was trying to sell. You know, over the years you get all kind of crap. Some of it's like, I'm gonna get rid of that. I haven't used that in 10 years. I looked at it. Some stupid knick-knack he got somewhere. He's also got, like, he had a tablature. I think it was a tablature. And it was Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms. That's probably the biggest record ever. Well, besides Salt and Swing. No, what was it? He had a tablature and he had a record. I had a record. He had the tablature book. So I kind of put it together. And he's got it up on eBay. Pretty good deal. I know you can't hear me. I think it's funny. I go to editing this. I'll be like, I can't hear anything that guy's saying. You watch 40 minutes of me blowing leaves everywhere. It's kind of ridiculous. Oh well. Boy, blow these out now that pick the trash up. Yeah. Alright, that's all. That's all you get. What happened? Huh? Because I got both heaters going, but I flipped the, yeah. Yeah, big dummy. Oh well. Alright, that's one. That's out of the way. I gotta flip the freaking breaker, turn everything off. Because as soon as we flip it, it'll need to get some more power out here. It's expensive. Expensive, man. Running both heaters and all the lights. Fired up the blower and then I tripped the breaker. Alright, Mercury 9.9. I guess this is somewhere, I would say, what did I say before? Late 90s, early 2000s. It's just your pull start variety. It doesn't have electric start, although you could make it electric start. You just have to add some brackets and stuff. Had just some rag in there. And then I just kind of left this out of the way. And then what? Yeah, there's a stop switch right here. I'm just going to leave it disconnected because, well, why? Because it's not working. So we'll just ignore that. It's like that Beatles song. Trash man. I guess that's Batman too. What the heck am I talking about? Alright, I got my gaskets out here. You got one that goes in the front. Yeah, so we got one or the other. So one's going to be a round intake, or one's going to be this intake. The only thing you got to do is line up the holes. So, you know, there's a hole here. And when you got it off, you know, it's a good idea beforehand to shoot. I'm sure you can't see this. There's two little bitty holes down there. I'm going to put this down because that's cold in my hand. What I'm talking about is, see that little brass, you know, down on the bottom there? So you just want to maybe put some carb spray in that just to make sure it's not clogged. Little bit of diamonds. And then, you know, we're going to line up our holes. So we got a hole here, we got a hole there. Yeah, you can see you line up your two holes where that brass fitting was, and then that other hole. And then this dude's ready to go on there. So I got my carburator, but I'm just gonna, cause I got the clip undone, so I just have to kind of work its way down in here, but just be gentle. Massage it down in there. Come on. You could take this out. I may even have to. I mean, it came out easy, but you probably can't see. I got this locked down. So you got that primer plastic deal in the front there. And, you know, I could try to take it off, but then, you know, it's just kind of a thing. You just got to massage it down in there. Which this little plastic piece kind of fits up under in the bottom of the carburetor. So I can't remember what I did before. If I take it off, just if I tuck it out of the way, maybe. So trash man, get in there. Like I said, it's plastic, man. You don't want to get crazy. So stupid design. It's probably somebody that's like, you just gotta pull that apart. See, and I don't remember what I've done before. See, because it probably really should go together, like with the carburetor as one, and I didn't do that. Designers of these things, man, they really kind of screw you. Yeah, it's a Mercury, made in Japan or something. Mexico? I don't know where it's made. I like this little short wrench. Because like over here, I kind of get in. I got a shorter one too. Because, you know, you don't, that's the other thing, like on this motor, you don't have a whole lot of play to like get in that side right here. Well, there's never any need to go get crazy. I'm trying to stay away from crazy, but crazy's freaking everywhere now. It's cleaning out this fuel bowl, and I had this stupid O-ring here is looking at, and of course it's gonna need a new one. She's gonna leak fuel. So I don't know if I got just a regular one I can throw in there or not. I don't know if I got one that big. When I go get some spark plugs, I can see if I can't get an O-ring. So this is gonna be our stator. You can see it's black, white, black, yellow. And it's going to go into our power pack, black, white, black, yellow. And then out of our trigger, we're going to have a brown, white, brown, yellow. It's going to come over on our power pack. It's going to hit brown, white, brown, yellow. Pretty simple so far. So then you're going to have a ground. So we got our stator, got our trigger, figured out with the wiring. So then the last thing to do is just to hook up our output to our coils. And in this diagram, they show D and E, and they show ignition coil top cylinder, ignition coil bottom cylinder. So they're saying that where green yellow is going to be number 1, and green white is going to be number 2. My power pack only has a green red, and then what is this, green white. So the only combination that's, so we have a green white, which they're saying is the bottom coil, and what I'm thinking, I'm going to assume green red is our number 1 coil. So if you look at these, this would be 1, right? This would be 1, and then this will be 2. So our green white, number 2. All right, and these engines were a little less on the compression numbers, and these are both exactly dead on 90. So this is the inlet side. This will be our out on like so. You can tell, man, that ultrasonic cleaner, man, it really does clean those carburetors good. Run it and ship it. Couple little squirts. Just to wrap this up, just again check your wiring. Now they got little places to put your little plugs right here. I'm like, screw that, I'm just like doing it here, okay, because they're really hard to get in and it kind of pinches the wire. I don't really like that, and I don't like how this comes up either. That's not a very good design. Maybe it should have, yeah, right here, see how it broke off right here. And then, no way to really get that out. Once it broke, it broke. So, just buy a new one. Alright, so we'll take this back apart. We'll see if we can't figure out what the heck. This is on like so. It says top. So if we put it like this, and on the top it says top, T-O-P, so that's right, and then there's a little notch, so this is right. I'm just double checking my work because I also now have I looked in my manuals because this carburetor has different how do I say it, diagrams. Yeah, that's what I say, it's diagrams, and some of the diagrams were not making much sense, and then I kind of figured it out. I still don't know what year, 2002, 2004, I don't know, something like that. But basically it's how the pump is put together. And this seems to be working, which is a plunger, and I videoed that earlier. I know this is right because this is working. You can hear it. So that's pumping. We gotta take off this because I'm probably gonna have to take off the bowl. So that's an 8mm. So you don't have to take off the spring on the side or anything like that. See? Get out of there. Yeah. You don't have to take the spring off. Set it out of your way. So now that's off. And then, I don't know. I'm going to check it. a good gander again at this. And check our float level and stuff again. I did have to put a different float in it, but it was working. I'm just not sure if maybe, oh shoot, it's a little tight. So like I said, we don't have to take off the pumping part of it. I know that works. So there's our jet there. I mean, I've cleaned that several times. I mean, it's super clean in there because I just washed it. Our float floats. Then I think we need to just see, like, on here, I did find in the manual, we got to measure this. So I'm going to measure it and see if that helps us. So let me get out the book, figure that out. Mine's got a little edge to it. I don't think it matters if it's this way. It's probably this way. So then I've got this little, they said 25.4 millimeters or 1 inch. And so you're supposed to measure from the very top of here to the very bottom of your float. So I'm gonna eyeball it. And then it says that if it, see, like mine's a good 1/4 inch off. It says to bend these little arms, so that's why I like this little ruler, because I can, you know, and you can see that it's got to go down more. I don't know if you can see this or not. There's 1 inch. And if I'm on this side, here to the bottom of there is 1 inch. Anyway, you get the idea. I don't know. It was a good ways off, so that might be one reason why it was just dumping fuel. What's going on? Oh, you're still filming over there. What? Alright, so like in the kit, they give you this gasket and this diaphragm. So when I was looking at this, I was thinking this has to be, you know, but I'm looking now, and I had this gasket on there when it should have been this gasket. Oh, we've got on this one, I guess, call it model. We have a diaphragm, we got a gasket, and then we got a plate. Well, we have the alternate diagram. So we got a plate, and then it looks like we got a gasket, or diaphragm, and a gasket, and then it's going to come up. Of course, there's a spring on this side, check valve, and then it looks like we have a gasket, and then of course it attaches to the engine. So they're not showing, like in this diagram, this diaphragm. They do show this gasket, but they don't show the diaphragm. I don't know. Or do we try this and then we maybe have to add the diaphragm in? The original one did not have a diaphragm. I mean, it had this, that one, this one, this one. You know, these are the parts right here that I have from that pump. Maybe the float was our problem. I guess let me throw this back together, put it back on, and then see what happens. I don't know. Well, we got her all back to start doing it now. Alright. I don't know. I just don't know. wants to. Let's do 5 times. See what? It's gonna have to come back off again. Ah, man, I'll tell you something and I'll tell you something else. What in the world? Can't let it defeat me. Alright, so we know this is right because I've looked into it. I'm going to go look at that diagram again. But it's got this sealing against here. So this goes like this. And the question I have is this. So do we put So my question is if we do this, which they don't show, being like that, what happens? See, it looks like see this diaphragm, if it's like this, see that looks right. But if I put this across here, then it seems like it's gonna, you know, it's gonna hit this. This is the original gasket. That's why I threw the new one that I had on it. Because when we're looking at these, it looks like that. It's got to be the way it's got to go. Like I said, let's do it 4,700 times, and then, or until we get it right. Just keep doing it over and over and over until somebody says you're an idiot. You're. It's probably very frustrating, and you have no idea because it's very frustrating for me and for you and for everyone involved. So, I don't know. We don't have to go crazy with this torque deal, especially with this screwdriver. I had to take this all back apart. So, you know, we got our plunger. It's like that. So, to put this in, when this is all the way down, this will pull out. And then, to put this in, so to put this in, this is our little gear. This little piece right here has got to be pointing down. You got to really push down to get on the lever. This little thing rides in here. Is it this one? Can't remember. Yeah. I'm on the right one now. So this little gear right here, when it's all the way down, barely pushes against here and goes into this. And then you have to have this little gear setting in that cradle when you put this in, or otherwise this won't work. Alright. Hope some more fuel in there, I guess. we done. The reason we're not getting fuel. Well, it's peeing, so we got a fuel issue. For some reason it's still not pumping. We have to go back and revisit our fuel pump. Why? Either a float. Guess I should look up what our... There's a half. There's a 1. Let's go 1 to see what it does. Same kind of deal.